Hey, hello everyone. So welcome back. Let's continue our chapter 5, the competitive environment. We have talked about the general structure, the general environment, the task environment, the internal environment. Now, this chapter 5, we pick several very important components, and then we put them together. We call this competitive environment. It's not just one component; it's several components. The challenges, as the managers we are facing. Okay, let me quickly show you the outline. I switched the sequence a little bit. I moved 5.6, early. When we talk about the legal social challenges of managers, actually we are talking about this one. All right, and then we go to the economic challenge, which is here. And then 5.3 is the competitive challenge, which is competitors, right? But actually, when we talk about this, actually we talk about the competitive challenges, we talk about the customer somehow, and then the supply, the market, the competition from the market. Let's say maybe from your existing competitor, it may be from your like potential competitors. Probably I will put the 5.4, 5.5 to the very last. Why? This is very closely related to the internal environment. In this chapter, we will talk about diversity challenges. We will talk about the other workplace challenges. Those are all belong to this. The sequence is clear. We talk about the changing environment. I think this is the only time that I spend that much time, talk about this outline. Now, when we talk about this so-called the environment, so the company, right, the agribusiness company is, operating, engaged in this environment. General, task, internal. This is the challenging environment. Although we say, hey, we are doing well, and then we making good profit this year, but year by year, maybe even quarter by quarter, month by month, the overall environment is changing. We needed to adapt. We needed to somehow be flexible. We needed to grasp the opportunities, but at the same time, we needed to observe the threats. Those bigger companies are new. They are from the small one, and then they grow. The environment is changed, the market is changed, and then they grasp the opportunity so they can grow from small to the big one. Actually, at the same time, when we call challenges, we know this is the opportunity. But honestly, there are many companies, they went bankrupt and then they disappeared. Also, I don't want to mention those examples here, but company is, start company, and then the company is like growing, and all of a sudden, gone, disappeared. Enron, right? It was like 22 years ago, like around the 2000. So this is, we call it the Enron scandal. So we will mention about the challenge. This is more related to ethical challenge or simply legal challenges. I mean, as the managers, right, we have to always follow the rule. So companies, we have to, if we want to survive, we want to grow, okay, we have to adapt, right? This adaptation means we can grow bigger, we can shrink. We needed to survive first. We needed to think about how we can adapt it to the new era. Simply speaking, technological challenges. I'm not very sure you still remember those Motorola, Nokia, right? All the mobile phones, they have this, they had the keyboard, but all of a sudden, all the phones look like it's exactly the same. So this is the change. This is the biggest change. This is the environment is changing. All right, this is the biggest, in my opinion, this is the biggest, let's say, the challenge. It covers or include all the challenges. Let's pick up some of those, let's say, challenges, and then we have, let's say, dive a little bit deeper from the, let's say, the legal social challenges. As you can see, as the company, we are right in this political system. Under this, there are many laws, regulations, right? So we needed to follow, we needed to obey. Although somehow they will combine the discussion with some ethical issues, right? As the manager, as the company. So what we should do, what we should not do. But those are all, let's say, we have to say there are plenty of stories, like the company, they break the law, right? And then they pay the big money, big fines, and then eventually they, when they went bankrupt. Also, like we call this the social challenges. In the textbook, we talked something regarding the pollution. One thing for the companies, we need to really to take care of this. We call it the social welfare. Also, from the individual, from the individual company, from the individual organization, they want to maximize the profit. But also from the economic perspective, we need to maximize not the company's profit. We want to maximize the social welfare. So that's why the government needed to step in. The government had, how say that they will develop the regulation to control the pollution. It is the argument, right? So whether the government regulation is good or bad. But somehow my answer will be simple. It depends, right? So we know the free market, or we call this market economy, they will boost this, we call this efficiency. Just the government leave them alone to compete. So maximize their efficiency. But somehow when we talk about those, let's say the pollutions, those related issues, those, let's say, we call it third party externality. In economics, we call it externalities, like a pollution, like other, let's say that the social issues, drugs, right? So cigarettes, those are all like externality. We call this a negative externality. For those things, we need the government to step in. We need the government, set up this regulation. We also needed to set or maximize the social welfare. So the social benefits should be maximized. This is why. This is the challenge. We are also under or in this legal system. There are regulations we needed to, to follow. Regarding the natural environment, so here they mention about the pollution. For me, this is more like the long-term benefits, or we call it the social benefits. So since we are producing many consumer products, those products directly consumed by the customer, we have two things to worry. One is to the natural environment. The other is to the human health, right? Food safety issue. We as the managers in the agribusiness, we are facing. Simply speaking, you cannot sell expired products. This means the laws. If you cannot use, you cannot sell those products. Those are the laws. But this will damage your profit. This is really the challenge. In the book, we also talk about like the oil, natural gas, those fracking. Although this is not directly agribusiness, but somehow, there must be the reason those energy prices go up quickly. This related to the government regulation, but also this related to the, those energy company. They have the market power. They can manipulate the price. We need to protect the natural environment. We need to protect the human health, right? So our customers' health. So